There is a strange place you can arrive at in life. You have accomplished many of the things you once wanted. You built the career, raised the family, earned the degree, established yourself. Maybe you have even achieved things your younger self would have been amazed to see. Life is good, you are grateful, and yet something is missing. Not enough to make you miserable. It is simply a persistent feeling that says there has to be something more I am supposed to do with my life. I know that feeling. Lately, I have been thinking less about what I have accomplished and much more about what I am supposed to do with everything life has taught me. I have come to believe something. That feeling of there must be more doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong with your life. It may mean something new is being asked of your life. So, if you have reached a place where you have accomplished a lot but still sense another calling, I don't think you need to immediately change careers, start a business, move somewhere new, or reinvent your entire life. I think you need to pay attention because your next calling may already be leaving you clues. Point 1. Stop looking for another achievement. This may be the hardest goal for accomplished people. We know how to achieve. Give us a goal and we will work toward it. But calling is different from achievement. Achievement asks, what can I accomplish? Calling asks, what can I contribute? That is a very different way to think about the second half of your life. At some point, collecting accomplishments stop being as satisfying as it once was. Another certificate or a degree doesn't answer the deeper longing. And that's not because ambition is bad, it's because eventually success has to mature into significance. You begin thinking less about what you can add to your resume and more about what you can add to someone else's life. That's often where calling begins. Point number 2, look back before you look forward. We usually imagine our calling somewhere out in the future, but some of the best clues are behind us. Look at what your life has already taught you. Your career taught you things. Your marriage taught you something. Parenthood, success, disappointments certainly taught you something. You have spent decades collecting something far more valuable than accomplishments. You have collected wisdom, and wisdom is meant to be used. Maybe you have spent 25 years in a profession and now you can mentor someone entering it. Maybe you have walked through a painful season and can now recognize someone who is struggling before anyone else notices. Maybe you have learned how to build something, lead people, raise children, recover from failure, or remain faithful through disappointment. Don't discount something because it comes easily to you now. It may come easily because you paid for that wisdom with years of your life. Your next calling may not require you to become someone completely different. It may require you to finally give away what becoming you has taught you. Point number 3, pay attention to what won't leave you alone. Some ideas visit once and disappear. Others keep returning. Pay attention to those. There may be something you have talked about doing for years. Maybe every time you encounter a certain problem, something inside you says, someone should do something about this. And perhaps you keep waiting for someone. Not every interest is a calling. Not every idea requires an action. But when something continues returning over months or years, don't dismiss it automatically. Bring it before God, pray about it, write about it, and do some research on it. Talk to wise people and then do something very important. Experiment with it. Calling often becomes clearer through movement, not contemplation. Point number 4, don't quit your life. run a small experiment. I think we sometimes make calling unnecessarily dramatic. We assume discovering a new purpose means quitting the job, selling the house, or making an enormous announcement. It doesn't. Sometimes your next calling begins on an evening after work, teaching one class, mentoring one person, recording one video, writing one chapter, accepting the speaking opportunity, creating the one thing that you've been putting off. When I was at the crossroads, I started this YouTube channel. I don't know exactly where this will lead. I'm still learning how to speak to a camera. I'm still finding my voice, but I'm doing it, and that matters. You don't need to identify your next great calling before you begin. You only need a small, faithful experiment. Do something small enough that failure won't destroy you, and something real enough that teaches you something. Then pay attention. Did it come alive? Did it help someone? How do you feel about it? Do you enjoy doing it again? Did people respond to something you didn't realize you carried? Those are the clues. Point number 5, find the intersection of gift, burden, and service. Here is another practical way to think about calling. Look for the intersection of these three things. What are you good at? What do you deeply care about? Who can benefit from it? The third part matters because calling isn't simply about self expression, it is about service. Your gift tells you what you can offer, your burden tells you where your heart is drawn. Service tells you where those two things become useful. And somewhere in that intersection, you may begin to recognize your next assignment. Point number 6, become the person your next calling requires. This may be the part we overlook most. We spend so much time asking God to show us to what to do next. Maybe we should also ask Him who we need to become next. Because perhaps your next assignment requires more courage, more discipline, humility, patience, consistency, and faith. Maybe it requires you to become comfortable being a beginner again. Maybe it requires you to use your voice. Maybe it requires you to become less easily offended, less distracted, less afraid. This is where the 3 words behind NRA Girl have become very personal to me. Noble, resilient, intentional. Noble in character, resilient in faith, intentional in living. Because I don't want to simply find my calling, I want to become the kind of person who can carry it well. And maybe that is a better prayer for all of us. Not simply, God, show me the next big thing you want me to do, but God, prepare me for whatever you want to do through me. You don't need to start over. This week I turned 53, and I don't feel the urge to throw away the life I have built and start over. Quite the opposite. I want to take everything God has already given me and ask God, how can all of this become useful now? Maybe that's what the next chapter is all about. Not starting over, but starting from experience. You don't need to erase the first half of your life to discover your purpose in the second half. Bring the wisdom, bring the scars, bring the skills, bring the dreams that never completely went away. Bring it all before God and simply say, here is what I have, use me. And then take one small step. Don't wait until you understand the whole calling. Start serving, start creating, start mentoring, start writing, start teaching, start learning. Start wherever you are with whatever you have in your hand. Because perhaps the feeling that says there has to be more to life than this isn't telling you to abandon the beautiful life you have already built. Perhaps it is simply telling you it is time to use it. Use what you have learned. Use your voice, your experience, your gifts, your faith. Use the years God has given you. And let the next chapter reveal itself as you walk. That's exactly what I intend to do. Not chase another accomplishment just to say I achieved it, but become more useful, more courageous, more faithful, and more intentional, and more willing to say yes when God puts something in front of me. Because there comes a time in life when success is no longer enough. You want your life to mean something. And maybe that is not a crisis, maybe that is calling. Maybe the feeling that there is still something more isn't evidence that you missed your purpose. Maybe it is evidence that God isn't finished with you yet. Thank you for your time visiting NRA Girl. Until next time, let us live thoughtfully. NRA Girl with love.